I agree with your discernment between Africans and blacks, but it seems like sometimes you have a very anti-diasporan stance as it relates to Africa. And I'm going to wrap with this. As a Habesha woman who's obviously admixed with total respect, you tend to try to regulate people's blackness when a quick Google search or a YouTube search will show that people from the Horn definitely have identity issues as it relates to blackness. So you don't have what when we say black in these YouTube streets and black American and that, we're talking about people that come from Western Central Africa, right? We have a certain phenotype. Some of our people are outside of that phenotype. We have a very broad phenotype. But your people definitely are kind of like considered like the exoticals of Africa. So when you try to say that, why are they going after these women and not really black, when the general consensus is that Ethiopians themselves aren't even black?
Hello, everyone. This is Angela, and welcome to my channel, Angie the ENTJ. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so that you'll know whenever I upload any new content. So before I go any further, a bit of disclaimer based on the title of the video. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a person who is coming from a diverse heritage. If you are mixed, biracial, multicultural, it doesn't matter. If you're coming from a blended background, you are more than welcome here along with everybody else. Okay, so in today's episode of the Escalating Male Meeting Competition, the Passport Bros edition, I will cover how African American men are attempting to push the narrative that Ethiopians like said from Keep Africa Passport Bros Free is a mixed person or has admixture and therefore is not a fully black person, as in not fully African. First, many of them don't even know that an African American woman is married into the Ethiopian royal family. This is a picture of Princess Ariana Austin Makonnen. She is married to Prince Joel Makonnen, a direct descendant of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. You see, this is what happens when uneducated men are manipulated. And the problem, just to be clear, is not the lack of education. Anyone can gain education. There are uneducated people who understand the value of possessing education. So not having education is not the issue. The issue is their willful ignorance. You see, they followed the xenophobia of people like Tariq Nasheed, who, in my opinion, did not like the fact that African American women were marrying African men because it meant that their children, the children born of those unions, will be less likely to fall victim to sex and labor trafficking due to the high pursuit of academia within those various cultures. And on top of it, they have the potential to become a part of a royal lineage. So people like Tariq Nasheed likes to charge up their minions to treat people that are like some of my cousins as if they are foreigners because of their names and their level of education, even though they were born here in the U.S. And despite the fact that people like me, I am on their maternal side of the family. And yes, I am a hot water cornbread and collard greens eating with some hot sauce doused on it. Reuse a Miracle Whip jars as drinking glasses. And reheating up my food and eating them from recycled pie tins. Southern-born, fully African-American grits-eating black woman. By the way. I'm blackity black, black, black. And see, I eat collard greens and cornbread with my hands, so it was easy for me to hang out with the Ethiopians because they eat their food, with injera. They pick it up with their hands. Man, I was cool from the first day I wandered into an Ethiopian restaurant when I was a teenager so many years ago, and they thought I was one of them based on my appearance, started speaking to me in their language and everything. And a lot of them like Bob Marley and reggae, and many of them think I look like them. So, okay, going back to the Passport Bros and an Ethiopian being, supposedly admixed or women. Did he say mixed? No, he said, wait a minute. He said that she was admixed. You see, the only tools these people have are chaos and confusion, and it's nothing more than an attempt to be cavalier about separating her identity, or at least minimizing it, from the African continent. Okay, yes, you can go and Google search a lot of things, but you need to have the experience of how to put it together and, go to sources that have empirical data and put it together. So you can't just go off of one discipline for the person that's calling them admixed. See, usually when I present my content, I try to go and layer multiple disciplines before I present anything. So I'm not coming just from one particular angle, because that angle can have a flaw. So when you combine multiple disciplines in your research, that's how you know that you're coming up on the truth. Okay. So let me let me continue. So what was I at? I was saying, okay. So they're taking issue with the fact that Zed is countering their attempts to market the African continent as a cheap brothel. And we can hear how upset a particular passport bro homie is, as he, called himself earlier in the video. He said he would, the little passport bro was his little homie. And we see how the same issues that dust bombed Blackistan are presenting themselves on an international front. So let's watch this video briefly and then I'll be back.
Passport and all that good stuff. So, and I want to say this too. I ain't called to argue with you, but I called to like give you a fair warning. Please, and I'm asking you nice. I don't give a damn you keep doing it, but I'm asking you. Stop talking about me on your whack ass channel. That's all I'm saying. Stop posting me on your community posts, because I don't even know you from a can of paint. Just leave me out of whatever the fuck you got going on, and do not lump me up with the other passport bros. I don't have nothing to do with that shit. You hear me?
I actually will continue to post whenever I think I should.
What you say?
I will continue to post about what I might post about you today, because I don't think you understand. You lose your privilege to not be bothered when you decide to bother people.
I lose my privilege.
Yes,
Shorty, I can have your hold on. I can have your whole channel took down. I'm sparing you right now. So don't talk about privilege. So, like I said, I'm giving you a fair warning. Keep my name up out your mouth, and everything gonna be all right. You can keep doing. Hold up. You can keep doing your content that nobody even watch. Just keep my name up out your mouth, and everything will be okay. You hear me? Cause I will have your mud. I will have your mud hut bean pie channel took down in a heartbeat. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. I'm giving your third world country ass a warning, shorty. I've been being nice with you. And all the reason I haven't talked about you on my channel, because you don't deserve no clout. And you won't get any clout.
You keep on going on tangents because...
Okay, I'm back, y'all. Let me get my Swiffer and dust this place off. Okay, I'm back. So part of the reason why I came out about my experience in the natural hair movement is because I saw that the swirl and divestment movements were maturing, and I feared that our opponents would be up to their same old tricks, and indeed they are. The people of Kemet are a product of Nut. According to the mythology, Nut is a goddess who is represented as the sky at night, the universe that is filled with stars, and each star represents a person. So according to the mythology, each time a child is born, it is like a child coming from the dark night sky universe, represented by Nut, coming from heaven and coming to earth. Each star is representing an individual. You see, it's not a one-drop rule from their world perspective. It was a one-star rule. And let's go a little bit deeper, because this is what Meduneter does. Here's another layer. Stars, from a scientific perspective, are comprised of gases, and those gases are different colors, like having different complexions. Nuance, isn't it? They are trying to lower the image of women with BBLs by claiming that they smell, and now they're on here attempting to claim that an indigenous African woman is mixed, all because of her light complexion. Y'all, I just can't. Woo! So here's what I have done, and I will do my best to be brief, you all. You see, some people may not know any better if they've never encountered the ancient history of Africa, especially the Horn of Africa. This is because, and especially when dealing with most African Americans, we have people that look like Amhara Ethiopians, but it's because their features are as a result of a Black person procreating with a non-Black person. Given our history in this part of the world where things happened forcibly back during the times of slavery, someone may genuinely think that your features are as a result of an invader. However, on that note, I will say that even though we do have a history of bondage here in the United States, still the overwhelming majority of African Americans did not have the ambiguous appearance that many associate with people who are biracial or mixed race. So this is a still photo from the movie called 12 Years a Slave. That was actually based on the real life story of Solomon Northrop, who was kidnapped and sold into the American South, where he endured slavery for 12 years. And this scene depicts one of the characters in the book named Patsy and their brutal slave master who took liberties with her without mercy, including actual liberties. So this next picture is of a girl named Rebecca who was born into slavery and labeled as a Black person due to the law at the time that said that if you have one drop of African blood in your system, then it means that you're Black. So you can see Rebecca's picture. Most people would look at her at first glance and think that she's a fully white, fully European child. But no, she was born to a woman who was enslaved. And she was labeled as a Black person due to the fact that she had at least one drop of African blood in her system. Her image was used to garner support for the abolition of slavery back then, because it just goes to show how she appeared, like I said, to be quite European. However, the laws at the time ensured all children born to enslaved women would inherit the condition of their mother and become enslaved as well. So in all earnest, for those who wonder why an African American would think that an Ethiopian woman like Zed is mixed, that is partially why. However, when we look at the history of the Horn of Africa, we see that during ancient times, it was called Ethiopia by the Greeks, which can be translated to mean the land of the burnt-faced people. This is because still to this day, Greek people are people who have a lighter, whiter complexion when compared to most Africans. And it was also referring to a reddish-brown complexion, which is important. See, the Greeks saw Ethiopians as sunburned versions of themselves. Okay, so when they named Ethiopia, they saw Ethiopians as humans, no different than they are. It's just that because they live in a hotter climate, it's burning their faces. That's why they look the way that they do. That's what the Greeks thought. Also, during the ancient times, it was called the land of Punt by ancient Egyptians in the Kemetu Kemet. Okay, so you should know, by the way, that Ethiopia is older than ancient Egypt. This is a place where frankincense and myrrh grows, and also a place that was referred by ancient Egyptians in their language of Medu-Neter as Ta-Neter, or it translates to mean the land of God. Ta means land in Medu-Neter, and Neter means God. So it was translated to mean land of God. So the next slide is a person who is from the Afar tribe, and they are indigenous to Ethiopia. They are Ethiopians. As you can see from this gentleman, he is donning the same hairstyle and attire of his ancestors. And he is still the same skin tone that was chiseled into granite and painted with colors that were made from scratch thousands upon thousands of years ago. These are Afar women as well. And you can see that they have the same aesthetic as their ancestors did thousands of years ago. Still to this day, Afar women in remote areas can be found wearing long skirts and walking freely bare-breasted without any upper covering, on their torso, just like their ancestors from ancient times. These are Ethiopians, and they are not mixed at all. The next page has portraits of a man at the top towards the right and women at the bottom towards the left. All of these people are Ethiopians and they have darker complexions. So you will find a diversity of features and complexions within Ethiopia, and it's not due to invasions or mixing with others. Now, Ethiopia does have a very long history, so I'm not saying that things did not happen. They're currently dealing with a conflict now, unfortunately. However, I am sharing how the features that these guys are claiming is due to Zet not being fully African, and as a result by her being an admixture of other traits. That is categorically false. They, meaning the Ethiopians, are the origins of these features. These features that Zed has, as well as these other people, come from the African continent directly. And that's why I brought up the mural paintings and things that were chiseled in granite thousands of years ago, because that's how people who, before the English language was even spoken, this is how they saw the people that were around them. And the Ethiopians look identical to this day. Okay. So moving along, as I was saying, anyone who looks like the Ethiopians, they are mixed. I need you to understand that. So if you see someone with features that you're looking at the Ethiopian and you're guessing this Ethiopian person is mixed with XYZ, no, it's the other way around. The XYZ person is mixed with Ethiopian, because the Ethiopians, as well as other Africans, are the origins of these features, okay? The next picture shows how the ancient Egyptians depicted Africans with lighter features way back when, and we still see them today, especially among the Amhara people, who tend to have many individuals with lighter complexions. It is their indigenous African features, not due to being mixed as what would be common among African Americans by contrast. This next slide is of Ethiopians who also have very dark complexions and features that many would commonly associate with Western and Central Africa. However, these people are Ethiopians, and they were depicted on the temple walls in Egypt thousands of years ago. They are identical to their ancestors. Now, moving forward, Ethiopia is a place where at least two of the oldest human fossils have been found. One of the most famous being Lucy, and her bones were estimated to be nearly 5 million years old. Additionally, other fossils of human remains have been found throughout Africa, which was part of the reason why it has been nicknamed the cradle of humanity. On top of it, the mitochondrial Eve, the one woman who we all share DNA in common with, was found to be a part of the sand people, the people who are often referred to as the Bushmen and who live deep in the southernmost parts of Africa. And they typically do not have dark complexions. This means that not only are Ethiopians not mixed, but their nation is the very land where some of the oldest fossils for humanity have been found, which is also connected to the greater African continent, the source of the mitochondrial Eve, the woman whose DNA, all of humanity that is alive and walking around right now today, we all share her DNA in common. So in conclusion, I just wanted to chime in and help cite to diffuse the chaos and the confusion that is being used as a weapon in the midst of an escalating global male mating competition by a group of rejected men. Keep Africa Passport Balls Free has been very supportive of women, and especially Black women, particularly African American women, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So on that note, that's all I have to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and make sure you click on the notifications bell so that you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Take care until next time.